Okay guys, let's go on. Now we are going to do questions 20 to 24. You can see questions 20 to 24, they say look at the following people, questions 20 to 23 and the list of ideas below. So what you have to do, you have to match people with their ideas. Very simple. How many people? 4. How many ideas? So one idea is extra ideas. You got to be careful with that. Okay, now listen. Over here, list of ideas, that is not in order. But the questions, like the names are mentioned, these names are in order. Now I want you to find Peter Toy. Peter Toy. Start from the first paragraph. Peter Toy. Everyone found it? Okay. Now listen. Whenever we have this matching type of question, most of the time, the statements given by these people, they are in single inverted comma. Okay? Now, can you see single inverted comma? Yes. After Peter, second last line, if discussed. Found it? Yes. Now, let's read this sentence and we are going to match a suitable option for that. Please follow me. First paragraph, third last line, if discussed. You know disgust? Feeling of hatred and something bad. If disgust protects humans from infection, boredom may protect them from infectious social situations, he suggests. Look here. Thank you. If disgust protects human from infection. See, if something is smelling badly, you will not eat it. So disgust means you feel disgusting feeling for that. It saves you from infection. Boredom may protect them from infectious social situations. Boredom will protect you from bad or infectious social situations. Now please come back. Go to A, B, C, D, E and tell me which option is the right one. And also, when you are doing A, B, C, D, you read A, you say not at all. You read B, you say never. You read C, maybe. Then you can write a question mark. Then you read D, then you read E, and then you realize which is the right one. So as you read, you must eliminate the wrong choices. For example, you read, way we live today may encourage boredom. Not at all. Option B, one sort of boredom is worse than all the others. They did not mention that in this part. So the answer is option E. Boredom may encourage us to avoid unpleasant experiences. Now tell me, what are those unpleasant experiences? Go back. Infectious social situations. For infectious social situations, they use the word unpleasant experiences. Is this clear? Yeah, to you all? Okay, let's go on. Question number 21. Now, E will not be used again, by the way. Option which you use it, cross it, so that you don't read it again. Question number 21, please. Thomas Goetz. Now, please find me Thomas Goetz. Very good. Now, you see Thomas Goetz there, but where do you find inverted commas statement? Third last line, that's right. Goethe called this and that. Yeah, they have just given the words in inverted commas. So anyways, I'm reading it from the beginning. Thomas Goetz and his team, and then don't read. I mean, listen, when you read, you should have this thing, skipping. Skipping means you read something, you skip some words. Now, what are those words? For example, Thomas Goetz and his team, University of Germany, blah, 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 skip it. Skip means, because this is not important, right? Now, please come to this third line. Identified 5 distinct types. So, 5 types of boredom, right? 5 distinct types. Indifferent, calibrating, blah, blah, blah. Now, come on. These can be plotted on 2 axes. They talk about that. Now, Goethe has found. Please come here. Found it? Yes. In the middle of the paragraph, Goethe has found that while people experience all kinds of boredom, they tend to specialize in one. One of the 5 types, the most damaging, is reactant. So this is the type of boredom, reactant, which is the most damaging boredom. with its explosive combination of high arousal and all that. So he talks about the types of boredom, and then he tells us this type is the most dangerous one than the others. Now go back and tell me which option. Absolutely. See that? He tells us about the types of boredom, and then they use the word for types. One sort of boredom is worse. For worse, they use the word damaging. Right? One sort of boredom is worse than all others. So option B is the right answer for 21. All agree? Yeah? Good. Now cross B also. So you are left with 2 questions and 3 options now. Question number 22, John Eastwood. Now please go for John Eastwood. One more thing. If you find the name without the statement, leave that. John Eastwood. Look for John Eastwood. Got it? Okay, John Eastwood is there in paragraph. Actually, you know, this paragraph number is missing. A, B, C, D, and then E. So this is paragraph D. Please write it down. On page 21, last paragraph is D. D likh le wahan pe. In paragraph D, we have John Eastwood. Found it? Okay, now we are looking for his statement. He says, first we have this statement, if you are in a state of mind wandering, you are not bored. He says, let's go on. In my view, by definition, boredom is an undesirable state. That doesn't necessarily mean that it is an adaptive. He adds pain is adaptive. Okay, if you didn't have physical pain and all that, please come to next page. If allowed to fester, for Eastwood, let's follow this. For Eastwood, the central feature of boredom is a failure to put our attention system into gear, okay? This causes an inability to focus and all that. Now, please come to this line. People try to connect. Again, we have inverted commas with full statement. Follow me, please. People try to connect. Everyone there? Yes. People try to connect with the world, and if they are not successful, there is that frustration and irritability, he says. People try to connect with the world, and if they are not successful, there is that frustration and irritability. Now let's find something for that. Just see what cannot be the answer. People try to connect with the world, and if they are not successful, there is the frustration and irritability. He says, perhaps more worryingly, says Eastwood, repeatedly failing to engage attention can lead to a state where we don't know what to do anymore. So it gets worsened afterwards. So option A is way we live today, not at all. Option C, levels of boredom may fall in the future. Not at all. Because they did not mention about future. So we are left with option D, trying to cope with boredom can increase its negative effects. Now come back, I tell you why. They say people try to connect with the world, and if they are not successful, there's that frustration and irritability. He says, perhaps most worryingly, says Eastwood, repeatedly failing to engage attention. Now, repeatedly failing to engage their attention can lead to a state. That state is basically increase its negative effects, right? Can lead to a state where we don't know what to do anymore and no longer care. Okay, please. Now come to question number 23. We are done with option D also. Now we are left with option A and C. Francois. And sometimes you will not be able to even to read the names. So in that case, just read the first, like, you know, instead of Franco, actually, this is the word Francois, French name Francois. With C, there is a tail in French. So you can read it like Franco. Franco. Okay? Now let's find Franco. Can you see Franco? Last paragraph. Let's read it. Psychologist Franco speculates that our over-connected lifestyles might even be a new source of boredom. Then he says, in modern human society, there is a lot of overstimulating, but still a lot of problems finding meaning, she says. So he says, over-connected lifestyle might even be a new source of boredom. Lifestyle, the way we live. Yeah, exactly. Option A, the way we live today may encourage boredom. What is that? Our over-connected lifestyles might even be a new source of boredom. New source of boredom means increase boredom. So, for question number 23, answer is, and what is left? Option C, that was a trap. Absolutely. Okay? All right.